It's a new day. Yes, it is. I suppose we'll get into that in a minute anyway. It's the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. It's Monday Night Raw review and my usual Raw broadcast partner, Mr. Jordan or One Breezy. Evening, buddy. How are you doing?
Not bad, mate. Like you before we spoke before we went on. Me working and you working in traffic. It's that time of year, Christmas rush hour. But other than that, I'm happy to be back. Second week running, third time doing this. I'm happy to be here, man.
It's good. I'm happy that you're here as well. And it's not a rush hour, it's a rush 3 hours. In this
Oh
way.
yeah,
In this way. But anyway, look, before we get on to Raw, obviously I've done Survivor Series with Andy, so I didn't get a chance. Overall, look, I've seen a lot of mixed stuff about it. My view is on it is I didn't go in with massive expectations because I feel as if they're holding a lot off for January and the Netflix. But overall, for you, what did you make of Survivor Series, man? Said it all,
some
really.
some of it was expected.
Yeah.
I think the triple threat match. I thought that were really good.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I think the spear where he jumped over him. I think Bron Breakker's just a beast, and 2025 is just going to be even better for him.
Mm.
The men's Survivor Series. I liked how they did that with Punk and Roman. That picture where they're just standing there like that, like Neil Ace. You know what I mean? I think the women's War Games match. I think could have been better. It was good, but
Yeah.
let's be honest, it was all built around Rhea.
Yeah.
I love Rhea Ripley to bits, and she pinned Liv, so that's going to lead to a match. Going into Raw, we will talk about that. My opinion on Rhea going like that, but yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was, as I say, I didn't have massive. It was the last one on the network, proper one. I know Deadline from NXT
Mhm.
is this weekend as well, but it's the last proper one. Saturday night's main event, maybe the last big, the last big thing that
Yeah,
they probably do. And by the way, anyone in the UK, just let you know, you are getting a WWE network for free this month. They are giving you it for free. So that's any better way. But if you do want to spend 9.99, I'm going to plug this as much as I can. If you do want to spend your 9.99 on something other wrestling related, download the TNA Plus app and get yourselves watching that every week. It's a great way to basically spend the money that you would have got back from.
definitely worth it.
Definitely worth every penny. And that's my plugs to TNA. Yes, I am commissioned now, please. Or some more stars. That'd be great. Let's kick off Raw. I mean, what better way to kick off Raw? You kicked off, you mentioned his name, CM Punk. Do you know what? Raw in general this week, just before we kick into it and actually get your opinion just quickly before we kick on to what happened. I felt Raw this week was the best Raw that they've done since it's gone, like the best 2 hour Raw they've done since it went 2 hours back again. I thought the promo stuff, and we'll get into the New Day, we'll get into Punk in a minute. I just felt, Jordan, that was just, it felt like it was on another level compared to what we've seen recently.
Definitely, 100%, Adam. I'll agree with you on that. If you just, I'll just name what you've had, like what you have on the show. You have a Drew return.
Mhm.
You have Big E come back.
Yeah.
You have the whole New Day 10th anniversary, which that was, up in the air. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I did not expect that, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
You had Punk and Rollins building their match because
Yeah.
Mania, and WWE's done it now because they like to have a long build, and I like that.
Mm.
Good way to involve Sami Zayn and Jey Uso as well. So I like that.
And bringing back Drew, like you mentioned, and we'll get into all of that. Let's say the Punk promo, he was kind of getting into what's next. He did point at something, and I believe it was the WrestleMania sign that was hanging way above
Hmm.
in the dark area of the arena. He was going to talk about what was next. He was going to maybe talk about the favor as well. Interrupted by good old Seth Punk. But it was interesting what Punk was saying. That when he was saying that Seth seems to have had Punk on his mind. Punk really, and Punk kind of said, like, you was only on my mind while you had the strap, hinting that he was going to go after Gunther, or Gunther
Yeah.
perhaps where he was leading to. Um, in the end, it leads off into a finally they kind of scrapped for the. I mean, I wouldn't call it as like a playground fight that they had for the first time. You had Jey Uso coming out, Sami Zayn coming out, and then they sort of kind of led into Sami Zayn kind of going into Rollins a little bit. Rollins snapping back, and that's setting up the main event. You did touch on the fact that they're maybe alluding to Punk and Rollins at
Yeah,
Mania.
it's gonna happen, isn't it?
I think that's a backup plan. My
Yeah,
my theory is at the moment, it's only at the moment, there's a lot of rumors about The Rock may or may not be able to do WrestleMania. We don't know what the situation
yeah.
is. And I believe that the favor that he will ask Heyman is to insert Punk into the Cody Roman perhaps match that goes on at WrestleMania. I don't know this. I'm just guessing at this point. That's where I think it is.
You want me to tell you my theory?
Go. Hit it.
So, what has Punk always wanted?
Main event. WrestleMania.
Exactly. So, Gunther at the Rumble, right? He beats Gunther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he's the champion going into WrestleMania, night one or night two, however you
Yeah,
want to do
doesn't
it.
matter. Yeah.
Rollins wins the Rumble,
Oh, okay.
goes for because you're not going to have Cody in the Rumble, you know.
Well, assuming he's champ, yeah, he's not in the Rumble. Yes.
He's going to be. My
Yeah.
opinion, The Rock will turn up at Saturday night's main event to
Oh, okay.
start his thing with
Yeah.
Cody.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the thing. So
Yep.
Punk's going to beat Gunther.
Hmm.
Gunther's going to go on to verse Brock Lesnar.
Yep. Oh, Lesnar.
And
Sorry, you Lesnar. That's coming back
yeah,
in. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I'm all for this. Go, go, go.
so Gunther's going to come back to,
Mhm.
sorry,
No.
Brock Lesnar's going to come back to verse Gunther at WrestleMania.
Right.
But how that happens, Punk will beat, what's his name? Gunther, the
Yeah.
title. Gunther will go into the Rumble. Lesnar will do it. They'll have that showdown again. Brock Lesnar will eliminate him. He'll feel embarrassed on next night Raw. That's another story. We'll get to that. But Punk will be the champion come the Rumble finishing.
Okay.
Rollins will win it. Rollins and Punk will want that at WrestleMania. And The Rock will verse Cody Rhodes, I think, at Mania.
Okay.
And then I think they're going to save The Rock versus Roman for 42.
Okay.
And then
Well,
I think the Roman will
yeah.
verse either Jacob or Solo.
Okay. At WrestleMania. That makes sense.
So
Where
you've
does the
got there
what's the favor? What's Punk's favor though for payment?
main event.
Oh, the main event. He's gonna use it to get into the main event.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, that is a good theory. Mine's a good theory as well. Start of Raw, though, a brilliant promo, and it was commercial free for the first 30 minutes or so. I loved the start of Raw. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I always love it. And do you know what I love? I love it like when they get out of the car and you show them like walking to the
Yeah,
arena. I love that.
yeah. I thought it was. The production on Raw since Kevin Dunn has left has been brilliant. To be quite honest with you, I thought it's been great. Raw then started with Damage Control, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. Um, I think the match was pretty short. Just one thing I would say about Raquel, and I do like Raquel Rodriguez, but I do feel in this match, every time she got in the ring, the pace of the match just kind of dropped every
Yeah.
single time. Maybe it's because of the other guys, women that were in the ring with her.
Mhm.
Maybe that was why. Obviously, Rhea Ripley did come out to this, and they got into a brawl. But more importantly than that, obviously, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez getting the win on Kairi Sane. It made no sense then pinning Io Sky because of what's going to. We'll talk about what happens in a minute with that. But overall, I thought it was a decent tag. I just kind of felt it got slower in areas, especially when Raquel got in there.
Yeah, I will agree with you on everything you just said. And what I don't get is Rhea pinned Liv at Survivor Series.
Yes.
Why not continue that on Raw? Why not have Rhea versus Liv for the title at Saturday night's main event?
Yeah.
Because it's already a story. I think Liv versus Io Sky,
Yeah.
pointless,
Indeed.
in my opinion. It's very pointless. It does not need to happen. Raquel Rodriguez, I think I said that name right,
Yeah.
looked a bit weak, in my opinion.
Mm.
I don't think. Why is she even with Liv? You know what I mean? I know they were tag team champions, but why?
Something to do with Rhea, right? I can't remember what the. I'm sure it's Rhea got. I'm sure it was
Yeah,
something.
Rhea injured her or something.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
But I don't get it. You know what I mean? She could have
Yeah.
come back and she could have come back at the Rumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I thought the match was weak. Could have been better, in my opinion.
It could
And
have been.
what happened to I don't I'm sick of Rhea getting injured. Do you know what I mean? I love Rhea Ripley to bits. She will be my mummy or whatever you want to call her. Do you know what I mean? I love her to bits, but I'm just sick of getting injured. Now it's her eye. Then it
Yeah,
was a bone in her eye. Then it was this. Then it was that. Stop getting injured or stop trying to make her get injured.
yeah. The
Saturday
others.
night's main event, first Liv, give her the title back.
That's what it could have been, but you are right. You did make a point in saying it is Liv Morgan and Io Sky. A little bit predictable, I think, where they're going with that one. In my opinion, I know you probably feel the same. Just a bit of when we say about injuries, we wish Bronson Reed a speedy recovery. From those who didn't see, a tsunami off the cage. Punk pulled Roman out of the way. When he landed kind of on his feet, and his ankles buckled. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if we actually know the severity.
Both broke of them, I think.
I think he may have. Yeah, he would have done. He definitely would have done something to them. Anyway, but he didn't do a Jacob Fatu and decide to pretend that he's injured during a spot for it got everyone thinking that he was injured, which was priceless. But we wish Bronson Reed the speedy recovery. Now, a match that actually I did enjoy from the women this week was the triple threat Intercontinental title match. Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance, and Dakota Kai in the first round of the women's Intercontinental tournament. Thank Christ, we're getting an Intercontinental women's title for a start. And this was a great match. I did like the fact that Baszler looked like she was getting back to her old self. She dominated this whole match. That's the Shayna Baszler that we love. But I will say, I am really happy that Dakota Kai picked up the victory in this. It was she had, I think Baszler had her in the clutch, didn't she? Katana Chance
Mhm.
come off the rope as Dakota Kai come out of it. She went on to Baszler, and then Dakota Kai hit the kind of version of a go to sleep on Katana Chance, pick up the victory. But all in
Yeah.
all, I really enjoyed it. And I think the winner, if it wasn't Dakota Kai, it would have been Shayna Baszler. I think they got the winner right on this occasion, especially from the fact this is going to be the Intercontinental Championship title.
Mhm. To be honest, the right person won. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, the Kai has been there for ages and she's had a few injuries,
Mm.
but it's good to see her finally getting her flowers.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, Shayna Baszler looked really good. I would have put Shayna Baszler in the other match
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
with whoever that might be.
It's Natty, Alba, Fire, and somebody else. And the name. Oh,
I'd have
Ivy
put
Knight.
I'd have put Ivy Nile in this one. No, I don't. No, I would have put Natty in this one. So then it's kind of
Okay.
like someone. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't obviously look like someone obvious is going to win.
Yeah. Very true. Natty actually, I think might win this.
Do you?
Yeah, I just had this feeling that we kind of talked about this last week when I said about that would they going to put it on were they going to put it on a like a big name like a Becky or a Charlotte, or are they going to put it on somebody that or someone like an Ivy Nile or a Dakota Kai? And the more I think about it, the more I think Natty seems potentially the one that perhaps not a lot of people are going to expect because she hasn't been around a lot too much, unless you're on Twitter and she posts semi-naked pictures of
Well,
her several times, which I don't think anyone's going to really complain about. But I just think that perhaps, and again, the lineage of the men's Bret Hart,
hmm.
Owen Hart, people like, and I think for me, she might be the one that wins it.
See, I can see. I see where you're coming from with that, but I wouldn't have her win it.
Okay.
I'd have her win it second.
Oh, okay. So you have the first winner being somebody new to get that prestige, and then have
Yeah,
them take it off her.
yeah,
Ah, okay. I like that. I like the sound of it. I just like the fact that we're having a mid-card women's tournament for a
yeah.
title. I love it.
Two of them as well, not just
Two.
one. Two.
Yeah, not just one. Yeah, the United States one on SmackDown as well. It's great. I can't. It's because it's going to give the opportunities to the ladies, which, as we touched on this last week, the two main, there is the women's championship on both brands. There is the women's tag, but they do lack that mimi the second women's championship, and I'm so happy that they're bringing it on, and we're going to have so much more matches for it.
Well, altogether in WWE now, there's 7 titles.
Yes, there is.
That's including the tags.
Yeah, there is 7 times. I know. Yeah,
You
I
got
know.
two in NXT.
Yeah.
The what I like about the women's world like tag titles, they go everywhere.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, because on Raw and SmackDown, you got the Motor City Machine Guns, who I haven't seen since they won the title. And then you got the Judgment Day who haven't defended it once in about every time we see Santa, really, once every year, near enough at the
Hmm.
minute. But we'll see about that. But I'm so glad the women's Intercontinental Champion and the United States are going to be. I think it opens up so many doors now. And plus, when you look at NXT, we've still got Julia to come up. We've still got Stephanie Vaquer to come up. We've still got Delta, or I can't remember her name in NXT.
Daru,
Thank you, to come up as well. And that
Cora Jade,
Cora
Roxanne
Jade,
Perez.
Roxanne Perez, and potentially they were talking about Megan Bayne the other day, potentially, because I know AEW are linked with her, and that's potential coming up as well. And Kylie, what's her name? Kylie Ray got an ID.
Did
Got ID.
and Zayda Steel.
There you go. And there's just so many names here, and I'm going to throw a name into it who's not even been ID'd or anything, because I think she will definitely end up in the WWE. Maybe not, maybe in the near future, and that is Kenzie Page. Is I'm going to throw a name in there. Not necessarily. I don't know
I
when
like
the
that.
contract's up. I don't know when it's up.
Someone you've just thrown someone, so I'm going to throw it in there as
Oh,
well. Tiffany Nieves.
Tiffany de la Princesa as well, the
Yeah,
Exodus Pro Women's World Champion, and obviously we've got Jordan Grace, who's near enough a shoe-in to be coming into the WWE.
free agent in February,
Yeah, as is Josh Alexander.
Feb 15th.
Feb 15th, if you watch Chris Van Vliet, you will know that. There's going to be Jesus, just those two names alone, adding to the two that we added just then as well, is going to be incredible times. Speaking of incredible, speaking of cinema, th- fuck, I don't think a promo or a segment has hit me so hard than this one. And we can talk I mean, the Bloodline done some great promos and they had some
Mhm.
great segments in their time. This New Day thing was absolutely incredible.
I loved it.
Anyone that hasn't seen, go and watch it on YouTube, go wherever, go watch Raw, whatever. This was just brilliant. So Kofi and Xavier come out. They were all happy. They were, that I think Adam Pearce was in there, and they was all thanking the fans and all of that. And then they sort of come up with, look, however, we got some bad news, or they were going to deliver some bad news. And as they say that, the crowd had already been chanting Big E for a while. Big E comes out and he was like, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not, until I'm medically cleared, I'm going to be here as your manager. And everyone, and at that point, I thought, there you go. That's the New Day. They're going to stick together. It's all going to be fine and dandy. And then Xavier Woods was like, now? You would do this now? And in order that. And I was thinking, okay, Xavier's turning. Kofi's going to side with E. No, no, no. Kofi sides with Xavier. And it's like, so what? You broke your neck. Austin done it. He come back. Kurt Angle done it. He come back. Edge done it. He come back. Hurricane done it. And he come back. I didn't say
Camper did it.
who did it? Who's that?
Camper.
Champa as well. Everyone was going online about it. They kicked Big E to the curb, and they are staying as the New Day, but it's just going to be Kofi. And I think Xavier said, "We'll call you when we need you. Go back to the desk job." Jordan, this for me, as I said, I don't think I've seen a better promo than that, or the segment as a whole in many a year.
Well, like we've mentioned, Raw this week was phenomenal, right?
Yes.
This segment alone, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes or plus
Yeah.
more, right? The way it was done, whoever did that, the agent is spot on.
Yeah.
When Big E said, "Oh, I'm gonna be here every week," the crowd popped,
Yeah.
and then he said manager, and then they started booing a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
like when you mentioned obviously Austin, The Rock, and all these people have broke their necks and come back.
Yeah.
Page in AEW, Edge, Danielson, everyone's come back. He will be back,
Yeah.
and he will be back in my opinion. I'm really predicting things at the moment, and I really hope some of these things do happen. The Rumble.
Yeah.
I reckon they're gonna have a few weeks, with the New Day, but well, the New Day, we'll call it.
Yeah.
That could be a title, the New Day.
Could
But
be.
yeah, I think give it a few weeks. I think he'll turn up at the Rumble. You know what I mean, and they will be shocked. That'll be a good pop,
Yeah.
and then he will eliminate Woods and Kofi. And do you know what I would love to see?
Mhm.
Triple threat for the New Day at WrestleMania.
Good do. That could happen. That is a damn good shout. Obviously, WrestleMania 2 days as well. But yeah, I might even rewatch that segment because it pulls on your heart. I mean, it did. I mean, Big E was crying at the end of it, literally. He had tears coming out of his eyes. It was, oh my God, what a segment! And WWE, they swang it, and Jesus, I had no interest in basically that. You kind of thought it was going to go one way with Xavier. I think we kind of floated the idea last week
Mhm.
that it may have been Kofi turning.
Yeah.
But my God, did the interest levels for me now in that went from here to here. And I can't now wait until next week to see what
Yeah.
follow-up is. Is
I
Big E
agree
going to
with
be there? Is Big E going to be there next week? We'll find out. Karrion Cross cuts a promo. The Wyatt Six, they're going to have an eight-man next week on Raw. So that'd be an interesting one to
you. Mhm.
teeth into. What's the Karrion Cross's stable? Final Testament. That's it. And Miz will go against the four of the White Six, which will be interesting. Now we're going to have the World Heavyweight Championship. Now this is an interesting one. It wasn't for the title, obviously. It was Gunther and Dominik Mysterio. Now this is where I'm a bit confused about what was. Is Gunther now face, and I've just missed something of this because
I was thinking that.
yeah, Gunther retained at Survivor Series. The Judgment Day cost Damian Priest. It's like an ever going on thing with that. Priest attacks him out the back at the end. We get to Raw. Dominik and Gunther was on Raw. Dominik actually really done well in this. I thought this match was really good
Yeah.
considering everything.
Everyone's praising him.
Yeah, he really. I feel like he's like now he's too good at being that sort of uh, you know the bitch heel a little bit. Maybe he needs to come out a bit. And he did,
Yeah.
and I think he got so much heat at one point that, well, he did turn Gunther face for about 10 minutes or so, which is the question that we raised. Obviously, Gunther wins the match with the powerbomb. Finn Balor comes out, literally destroys Gunther, which was a bit of a weird one. Now, that's happening at Saturday night's main event as well. My prediction with that is Priest cost Balor the world title, and they go again. But yeah, I just thought the match was great. I really enjoyed it, but I was just confused as who to cheer for in this.
Yeah. I thought this was Dominic's best match since
Yeah,
his match with Dragon Lee on Raw.
yeah,
And I think, do you know if we're on about the MVPs of the year, like for WWE, I think Dominic Mysterio is in there. I think Bronson Reed is in there. I think obviously Gunther, but if we're on about like lower cards, I think Carmelo Hayes, Ron Breaker, Andrade. Do you know what I mean? There's
yeah.
so many people in there, but yeah, I didn't get it with Gunther. And at the end, Finn said to Dom, "Watch how it's done. I'll see how it's.
Yeah,
I'll show you how it's done, or something like that." I think what you've just said with Priest costing him a thingy, that will happen.
yeah.
Their feud will continue all the way up onto WrestleMania.
You think?
Finish it there. Have a last man standing match.
Mm. But like, didn't they
Yeah.
have one with Edge at Mania once? Was it Edge he had one? Was it? Oh, no, it was Hell in a Cell, wasn't it? He had one.
Yeah.
That works.
I like that.
Mm. I actually didn't think it could. I didn't think it would go that long, but you're right now. I think it may well go that long, which is interesting. We'll have to find out. Obviously, as we said, Finn Balor, Gunther, Saturday night's main event on the 14th of this month, next weekend, to be exact. Jey Uso was attacked backstage. More on that when we get to the main event and after, because there's a bit of that. And then, do you know what? It was a complete, absolute waste of time. They had R-Truth and Pete Dunne on this. It was, I mean, it just lit. The crowd chanted Butch. Butch gets distracted. R-Truth rolls him up and pins him. Great to see Truth get the win. Don't get me wrong. The match for me was just a complete waste of time. And then I just think Pete Dunne, Butch, what you want to call it, he is so much better than this. And I
Agreed.
can't help thinking that why don't WWE just sometimes, and I know they have done it before, they've stacked it on NXT before, but in the draft, if they're going to move people to Raw and SmackDown, why don't they bring people down to NXT and let them have their time? Because it's just been a waste of Pete Dunne's time recently.
I would use NXT like you've just said as a third brand, like the WCW back in the day.
Mm,
When Matt Hardy went to ECW back in the day,
yeah,
he was the champion. Right?
it was.
I think the next draft, have SmackDown and Raw and NXT, and then I would have whoever the man, William Regal, no, Shawn Michaels. Right, I would have him
Yeah,
pick a few people that he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, or something, or I used to love it back in the day, like for the draft, like where you used to like Kane, Edge, like where it spinned,
Yeah.
and then he came up with someone. I liked it like that.
Mm.
None of this where you pick someone, you this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do it random. But
Yeah.
yeah, Pete Dunne is so much better. Give you a prime example. Look at his match with Tyler Bate and his match with Walter, known as Gunther now,
Yeah.
but for the United Kingdom Championship. Two unbelievable matches.
Yeah. They need to sort it out. They need to sort it out for sure. Hit the main event now. Rollins and Zayn. That was obviously made at the start of the show. Again, a really great main event. I think the thing again that kind of not say confused me much, but obviously there was a bit of this where Sami Zayn was getting I mean, they had this great match. Don't get me wrong. There was a great match, and Sami Zayn grabs a chair. And he was trying to find out who attacked Jey Uso. Seth Rollins was like, he didn't, but he said it was Punk that attacked Jey Uso. And then as Sami Zayn throws the chair away, Rollins rolls him up, gets the victory. And then he goes up the stage. Sami Zayn turns around into a Claymore from the returning Drew McIntyre. So now we know it was McIntyre that's reigniting the feud with Jey Uso. He's the one that attacked him. He attacked Sami Zayn, which is great because it sets up some interesting bits for next week. But this match for itself, I just kind of felt that I didn't understand why Sami Zayn just threw the chair away and let Rollins roll him up. It just didn't feel right for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. Personally, I thought Seth attacked Jay
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
because obviously Jay is now with Roman.
yeah,
If you want to continue that story a little bit, have it with Jay because then Punk's busy doing his little thing, isn't he?
yeah,
So obviously Sammy's going after Drew. I've Seth with Jay, Punk with whoever he's going to fight with. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that little punch and the little scrap that Seth had with Punk?
yeah,
It was like 4 seconds, and then all of a sudden you had all the agents running.
yeah,
That was, do you know what I mean? If you're going to do that, like at least let them have it a little bit longer, not like 10 seconds.
yeah, definitely. But a really good match. Drew McIntyre returns to Raw at the end to set up next week. Can't wait for that. Listen, we're getting to that part of the stage. We get part of the stage, that part of the show where we start to go at what's going on with our own channels. Obviously, at One Breezy X and on YouTube. What's going on with your stuff, sir?
So with me, I've got Rob Drake coming on this weekend,
Nice.
and then I've got one more, probably two guests for the end of the year. I want to say one to be confirmed is like a content creator.
Cool.
Not that what you would think, but
Cool.
he does streams and stuff like that. I'm hoping to. I'll tell you after this. I
Yeah.
don't want to say it and then
No,
get
no, no,
people
no, that's fine.
and stuff. And then I'm getting around to it. I'm going to have Layla on
Lovely.
Layla before the end of the year.
Those are some good ones on there for sure. So check out at One Breezy. It is at One Breezy, isn't it? Yes, check out at One Breezy on YouTube and on X. So tomorrow, obviously Wednesday. This is not saying it's coming out tomorrow, by the way, guys. I'm just letting you know when we're recording. Tomorrow, I'm interviewing Fuego del Sol. On Thursday, I'm interviewing Jack Torino. There's a story behind Jack. If you follow Ignite Wrestling, you'll know what that is. Next Thursday, the 12th, I'm interviewing Zach Knight again, so part two. So we had Zach on before he signed for AEW. It was literally at the end of basically right near where he was signing for AEW when we had him on. And actually, the day before that, on the Wednesday, I'll be interviewing Todd Gordon. We're going to go from Eastern Championship Wrestling to Extreme Championship Wrestling and all in between. There's a couple more names I'll announce at a later date, but those are the ones we've got coming up at the minute. Jordan, as always, I say this to Fiona every week on the NWA stuff. I'm going to say it to you now. Shall we do this again next week?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Adam. Definitely will do it again. I
We'll
loved
do
it.
it again next week, guys. Just follow us, HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast on Instagram. He's at One Breezy. I'm at HTTB. And we'll see you next time. Buckle down. Stay safe. Goodbye.